Cedar International School and the Bregado Flax Educational Center's Secondary Division secured places in the national debate semifinals with skillful presentations at the first round of the Inter-Secondary Schools debate competition. Sean Rose has the details.
Cedar International won their preliminary debate against the Virgin Islands School of Technical Studies on the moot "Recycling will do more harm than good to the Virgin Islands." Darissa Rogers of Cedar International in her presentation argued that the Virgin Islands should adopt a new environmental theme of reduce, reuse and rethink instead of reduce, reuse, recycle.
It is not economically viable to recycle in the Virgin Islands and will strain our economy to its bare skeleton. The nearby Cayman Islands has not yet started their own recycling program because of the same struggle with geographical and economic issues that we are discussing today. Recycling is not an economic priority here in the Virgin Islands. We have to rethink our position. Reduce, reuse, and rethink.
Shakima Fagan of Cedar, who served as the proposition, was judged best speaker of that debate. She suggested that recycling will destroy the beauty of the territory, the very attribute that draws millions of dollars from tourists into the economy annually.
Reducing the amount of waste we produce, reusing our resources instead of throwing them away, and rethinking how we treat the beautiful environment in which we live are essential. We need to rethink how we can better utilize the resources within the Virgin Islands. There are many simple solutions that help the environment far more than recycling. Reusing shopping bags rather than buying plastic ones. Carrying your own refillable water bottles rather than buying plastic ones. Avoiding the purchase of disposable products, including plastic plates and disposable razors. Reusing coffee tins and jam jars as storage containers. Reducing domestic food waste by turning leftovers into new meals. These are all examples of rethinking and saving our country for future generations because, as you've heard from both my colleague and myself tonight, recycling is not feasible nor viable an option for the Virgin Islands. It will economically starve our country, stripping away our largest asset, nature's beauty, and driving tourists away from our shores. Rather than putting a recycling plan in place, the Virgin Islands needs to reduce, reuse, and rethink.
Zaria James and Shazina Haywood of the Virgin Islands School of Technical Studies in their presentation laid out a number of practical suggestions for persons to recycle locally. Meanwhile, the Bregado Flax Educational Center Secondary Division won their debate against the Claudia Creaky Educational Center on the moot "The use of social media is harmful to Virgin Islands students." Anika Christopher of Bregado Flax spoke first for the proposition. She was judged best speaker. Anika showed how the language often used on social media sites affect students' oral and theoretical expressions.
The language frequently used is now affecting our students' expression orally and in writing. LOL, BRB, TMI, OMG, TBT are some of these expressions. Teachers and lecturers from H. Levity-Stowe Community College often complain that the abbreviations used in texting, which are not accepted as any form of standard English, are now finding their ways into compositions and essays. This shows that this language is so frequently used that young people are getting confused and are writing it as if it is acceptable. Secondly, social media is affecting students' perception of themselves. Our youths are becoming very narcissistic. Ladies and gentlemen, narcissism is a fixation with oneself. Quite expectedly, a poll conducted at my school showed that teens who use social media, such as Facebook and Instagram, are channeling all of their energy in sharing attractive pictures and videos of themselves, leading them to being self-obsessed with their appearance and not satisfied with themselves. Ladies and gentlemen, our students are judging their self-worth by the number of likes they receive when they share pictures and videos.
Cheyenne Richards of Bregado Flax also argued that the use of social media sites allows students to communicate freely about their personal lives, exposing them to various risks.
Each person needs to have a private life, yet people post any and everything to see how much likes they get.
What is our society coming to? We can only now value ourselves by how many likes we get when we post an item or a photo. So we post ourselves half naked. We post information about our every waking moment. We post information about our dogs. We post information about how we feel to get likes. This information is now a target for our sharks in our society.
The Claudia Creaky Educational Center spoke of the 21st century student living in the internet technological age, complete with sophisticated media in a computer-engaged environment. The semi-finals, meanwhile, are scheduled for January 21, when Cedar International and the Bregado Flax Educational Center will engage each other on the moot. The impact of climate change will negatively affect our tourism industry. The debate will also be held at the Sir Rupert Briarcliff Hall. Sean Rose, JTV News.